Good morning, everyone. Let's hit this record. All right. So good morning, everyone. How are y'all doing? Uh, Happy Tuesday. No for November. We are here for it. So as I was looking through the different topics that I definitely wanted to go through for this month, and the word no just seemed to keep popping up and coming out at me. I figured we would literally finish off the whole rest of um, this month with no. So, what that's looking like and where it's stemming from is the reality and just having to notice that good morning on Instagram, that a lot of people may know you from back in the day. Good morning, Claudine. Like they may know you from high school. They may know you from when you were a kid. They may know you in various different roles or positions that you previously held. And to be fair, they were familiar with what you chose to share with them at that point in time. However, who you are today, who you were yesterday, everybody doesn't even know who they are in this moment in that fullness. With that being said, you get to evolve, you get to choose how you want to show up, who you want to show up as, and what version of you is going to be the most supportive for where it is you're working towards in your life in the moment. If that's what you're doing, then it will be really, really unfair for somebody else to believe in their soul that they know you. They can only know what you choose to share of you. So as we're looking at no for November, no, there's no way you can know who I am in its full entirety. And looking at the amount of access that you give people to you will make a huge difference. Okay, be different tomorrow than we were today. Yes, like literally who I was yesterday might have been full of energy. And today I may have woke up and physically stuff could be happening, mentally stuff could be happening, emotionally things can be going on. And the difference is that just because the general vision of who you look like still appears to be the same, there's enough things that look similar enough. Yes, people know an essence or a primary version of you. But as you choose to evolve, as you choose to make internal movements or changes to yourself, everyone's not going to know in its entirety who you still are. No, they can't possibly know you. And as you continue to evolve to a greater version of yourself, everyone shouldn't even have access to you. Somebody's going to feel some type of way about that, and that's okay. I'm here for it. Everyone should not have access to you. So this no looks like, no, we can't hang out the way we always used to hang out. No, I can't do the stuff I used to do. No, you can't have access to all my stuff anymore either. And what that may seem like, and some are like, why would you say these things? Because when you're establishing boundaries with folks and you're establishing boundaries with yourself that allow you to be the greatest version of yourself, one of the gentlest, most kindest things you can do is start getting comfortable with the word no. Being comfortable with saying no, being comfortable with knowing that you may not even know in its entirety, what what all you've got going on with yourself, but that it's okay. And while you're figuring it out, you're going to need to take that break. You're going to need to step back. You're going to need time to explore. All right, what does 2024 version of me look like? How did I finish off 23? How does it compare to 2022? What things do I want to take from last year? Got to get to the work, but I'll see you. Absolutely. I will be seeing you tomorrow, Claudine. But what things do you want to carry over from those different versions of yourself that absolutely are working for you? What are the aspects of who you are that you don't want to lose, that you genuinely love and appreciate about yourself? So if you're a giving person, there's no reason for you to stop being giving. However, there is an absolute must that you do so intentionally. There's a must that you start saying no to some folks because they're not always here for you. Every person that shows up isn't always here for the right reasons. They may be here because they know you're giving. So they're going to take every single thing that you're giving because why wouldn't you? If someone's giving you $1,000 every day to do absolutely nothing, why would you not accept that? if what your request in life was for you to receive money. If someone is showing you unconditional love and attention and it's to their detriment, but you don't know that because they haven't been willing to say anything about it, at what point would you stop receiving it? These same people that are giving those things, that are doing those things, I'm talking to you. I'm asking you to start saying no to not to that version of you. There's an aspect of that version of you that totally works and is kind and giving and like, ooh, all the feels. But as you're evolving into this new version of you, as you continue to become a greater version of how you want to show up and what that looks like, there may be some folks that you're going to have to start saying no to. There's some people that will believe that they can count on you to always do X, Y, and Z. And it was 100% true. However, it is different now. It's different now because what you need in life doesn't align with you being able to be available for them. It looks like this new version of you, when people start saying things like, oh, they're acting brand new and why did you change it up? You switched it up. You're not who you used to be. Thank goodness. No, I'm not her. I'm not who I used to be. And when I say her and me, I am 100% speaking to, and whoever needs their permission slip signed, this is your permission slip being signed to say that no, I'm not who I used to be. Yes, I am acting brand new because it's a brand new version of who I am. May look the same way. You may even believe like all things are so, but inside, as you evolve, as you start to notice what things allow you to care for yourself more, what things allow you to give more to you. So that looks like even allowing people to help you, seeking different resources, being in a position where you may go in different circles. You may be a part of different routines now. You may choose to work out different ways. You may choose to work at a different place or to have your own business or a couple or whatever that looks like. As those things are evolving, it's going to require and demand different versions of you. To some extent, you can't be every single aspect of who you used to be, but you can absolutely take the most amazing parts of it and bring it into who you're choosing to be next. You can absolutely maintain that foundation of being a person that is a help, a resource, someone that people can look forward to accepting help from. In the midst of doing that, it doesn't mean that how you choose to go about it has to remain the same. You can change the way that you deliver and do things. You can shift the amount of access that people may have. So maybe you're a person that everybody gets your personal phone number and everybody gets access to your home. If you know me in real life, then you know very few people will actually even end up with, like, say, for instance, my address, nonetheless, like my for real private number, because there needs to be boundaries that get created. And yes, for some folks, they will say, oh, you act in Hollywood. Well, I'm in LA. If I was ever going to be, this will be the place to do it. And it's not about acting Hollywood. It is about folks that level up need to start creating an amount of distance between themselves and things they used to accept and embrace. Because where they're going to next, they're not going to need all of those same skills in the same way. The who you are today, the no, I'm not that person anymore, it doesn't mean you can't access them. It doesn't mean someone can't F around and find out that you were and can be that person. However, what it does mean is that if you want to continue to be the greatest version of you and keep evolving and getting comfortable with the consistency of change, because change is one of those things that you can count on. You can count on things not staying exactly the same. If you're willing to trust and give yourself that, then you have the capacity and the opportunity to wholeheartedly keep becoming a new version of you that everyone won't know. Those few people that are close to you will absolutely get to see aspects of it. They may even be privy to parts of how that change is going on. However, in the midst of that, They may even notice, oh, she doesn't do that anymore. And again, she can, use the pronoun that works for you. But the point being, you shouldn't consistently always be recognizable to folks that haven't always had access to you. There can totally be the essence of it. And I feel like I might be going a little all over the place and trying to bring it back to the bigger point of who you are today should be different, but the differences should be based on what you're choosing to allow those differences to be. Those differences should look like the no's that you've said to other folks that allowed you to say yes to you, and then repour, give, or share yourself actually in a better way, a better version. The rest of this month, and I think we have like a couple of more Tuesdays, something along those lines. I'm evoking, and if you work with me directly, then you already know that this has been coming up. I am challenging you all to say no. To say no first to things and then reevaluate what you'd like to say yes to. On the other end, as we are receiving no's from other people, if there's a space to look at that as a grace and permission for a couple of reasons. Maybe you accidentally asked the wrong person something and you didn't mean to, but clearly did not have the heart to say it was a mistake. When that person says no, in that moment, you can be happy that they were able to recognize that you're not the same person anymore, and neither are they. And that desire to still connect or work together or whatever that looks like, it was the best choice for both of you in that moment. People that are saying no are allowing doors to close that might have been blocking the barriers or passageway for you to get to where you really needed to get to or where you wanted to get to. But because you kept running headfirst into this open door and not being invited in, you weren't able to close it and see that literally just on the other side, or maybe a couple of more doors down, what you most wanted has been waiting, but it's been waiting for the new version of you, not the old one that everyone else used to know, not the one that used to do the most back in the day, not the one that undeniably accepted everyone at every state and place of how they showed up and just believed that it'd be better to maybe accept everything instead of holding or creating standards for who gets access to you or who you choose to have in your circle. It may look like the person that no longer accepts jobs just because someone said, hey, we want you. So do other people. Why would this one be worth my time or while? If you ever noticed, at a certain point, and the reason people do things is not going to be, we shouldn't be privy to all of it. There should be some aspect of privacy that people have, but folks are in highly visible positions. So whether that's celebrities, I don't want to say politicians, but like people that people know. At certain points in time, they make a decision to support or advocate for different things that they care about, things that they stand on. I heard this thing, I guess, standing on business, I guess that's a thing, but they choose different things that they're willing to support. When they make those decisions, what they've also said was they're saying no to maybe a version of them that would not have wanted to put themselves out there like that, or a version of them that would have prevented them from being able to kind of stay in the shadows, not be visible. When you are a person that shows up and shows out and people know who you are, what you choose to care about and believe in makes a difference. When those views, thoughts, and maybe needs change, it may feel like, oh my gosh, how can you go about doing that or changing it? Isn't that, it is what it is. Make sure that what you're doing it for works for you, because whatever is going to come with that is going to make a big difference in what's coming up next for your future. If you are into manifesting things, and recognize that the more present you can be, the more you can access and recognize what things are happening that you've already asked for. So today, what we're doing, we're living in the dreams of what we may have said from years or months or, decades ago. You may miss that if you're too busy trying to stay a version of you that everyone else expects instead of evolving into who you are in this moment. Your choices and steps today are leading you towards the version that other people are going to get to meet in the future. This all happens when we start getting comfortable with understanding that no, everyone can't know us in our entirety the same way they used to, the same access they used to have, but it doesn't mean that we aren't still reachable. The screening process looks different now. The amount of folks that get welcome into the inner circle, it looks different. And I don't remember the name of the movie in its entirety, but there is a movie and the father-in-law to be talked about the circle of trust, and the guy always being like outside of it and then eventually getting on a line and being able to get inside. It would be a really great idea. Just a suggestion, do what you want with it. If you take time, especially as this year comes to an end, and choose to each year of your life around November, just start saying no to stuff like no for November, and then exploring what things do you want to re-invite back into your life? How close do you want them to be? And what does it allow you to do as the version of you that you want to share with people in the different capacities and the different levels of access that they have to you? Anticipate some change coming for the rest of this year. Anticipate that if you choose to, you can totally start shifting things in a way that works for you instead of always being worried that, I don't know, it's not going to. But it's going to require that you give yourself that space, grace, time, and permission to evaluate what works for you and how you want to go about doing it. So, no, I'm not the version of me that y'all met last year. This time last year, it was a different version of me. That version was great for what it was, and today's version looks real different. Today's version may not necessarily be putting everything out there, but please understand in the background, in that close circle of folks that do know me, they're hearing the shifts, they're seeing the changes, and I appreciate every single one of them that has been so willing to pour into me and just share their observations of what that looks like too, and me to be in the space to do the same for them. So while you're becoming this version of you today, and no, people don't know that old version of you anymore because it's gone. It's that version back then. The people that get to know you today appreciate and value what those relationships look like. Be good with, sometimes relationships serve their purpose, and at the same time, like, they may have poured into you too. So the no's aren't just you're shutting everybody out. It may be allowing people to come in closer that have been waiting for the opportunity or had something to offer you, but they needed to know it was safe to do so. So just if you liked to try on for size, get good with saying no for the rest of this month and letting the yeses be undeniable hell yeses so that it works for you, and being comfortable with, I'm trying this on for a season. If it feels different or changes, that's cool. But be cool with that change for you and own this version of you, and be comfortable with people are going to feel like you're different or you changed because you are. You're intentionally doing so. So let's do it on purpose, not being ugly or nasty about it, but really evaluating what's going to work best for us. What does the rest of this year's version of you look like? What do you get to say yes to because you've said no to other things that are no longer serving you? What does next year's version of you get to look like? How will you be showing up for it? Will you be showing up for the Greater Goddess Unleashed Summit that is coming in December? Well, if you haven't heard about it, now you did. Feel free to go ahead and sign up. I don't even know if we have a wait list going for that just yet, but even if we don't, you're going to be hearing about it. You've seen the save the dates, 12/4-ish, I think, somewhere around there. I don't know. Check out my posts and feel free to sign up, show up. The amazing, beautiful, lovely ladies thus far, because it is all women at this point, that are going to be showing up. We're going to be sharing more intently about what they've got going on. Oh, it's 12/3. I guess I was thinking of 12/4 because I'm not doing nothing on that day, and I'm not going to be available for anyone on that day. 12/3, we will be the summit will be live, so you don't want to miss out. on what these beautiful lovelies are sharing, things that they have gone through and how they've been embodying their feminine energy and what that's looked like so far as freedom, as well as some of the offers that they've got going on that you might want to take advantage of. So I'll see you all next Tuesday for sure. I will be dropping more no's for November and totally looking forward to sharing a couple of things here and there as we gear up for Black Friday and not only the summit that is coming up, which is free. There's also an opportunity to meet in person, but that will be later in December, and that will probably be shared on the low. So you want to be on the email list because you get access to cool stuff like Freedom Fridays, which is tips every single Friday on how to go about just getting free by 5 and ways to embrace your own self-care. Also on Wellness Wednesdays, we drop a little more knowledge there. And these are things that aren't necessarily posted on social media. So feel free to join us, sign up, be around, get on the inside. Just for the ladies specifically, there is a goddess channel where sometimes I just share stuff that 100% is specific for the lovelies that are there. So I look forward to seeing you all next week. Y'all have an amazing day. Remember, no for November. Might be no shave. Who knows? But let it be no's for November. Now we'll see y'all later.